Am I the asshole for refusing to cover my eye when a parent insisted I do so on the bus? Hello. This happened yesterday and I keep thinking about it, not really knowing whether I handled the situation properly. I-29 male had an accident at work which resulted in my left eye becoming damaged. I wear an eye patch in public. Especially when using public transportation. Though I hate public transportation because I meet people who tend to be openly disrespectful and mean. However, when I use the bus and when there's kids on it who approach me all the time and ask if I'm actually a pirate, I try to cheer them up. Make a fool of myself and talk like a pirate and say things like, AARRGGGGHHHH, or, ahoy, or, matey, and have fun. They greet me before getting off the bus and I playfully reply by saying, I'm James Hook, nice to meet you. First, can't remember how many little friends I made so far. They're many, which I think is cool. I never really thought anything positive would come out of this situation. But I was wrong. Now the issue, my eye has been itching all week. I use an ointment and the doctor told me to not cover it all the time. So yesterday I didn't put on my eye patch. I need to mention that my left eye is almost closed. I have no control over it. It's been like this since the accident. So it's not like it looked terrifying or anything. Anyway, a 40-something dad gets on the bus with his son and gives me weird looks. Then he started huffing and puffing. I paid him no attention. I just remained in my seat. He then asked me if I had something to cover my eye with because he thought it was making his son uncomfortable. I ignored him, but he kept asking me annoying questions hinting that any injured eye needs to be covered, especially in public. I put up with it as long as I could. He raised his voice demanding I either cover my eye or get off the bus because at that point, not only was I making his son uncomfortable but him and everybody else as well, according to him. I lashed out at him and told him to stop being a fucking jerk and told him to get out of my face if he felt uncomfortable looking at my eye. Everyone was staring at me. That's when I thought I might have said something wrong. Those remaining 15 minutes felt like an eternity. That set the tone for the rest of the day. I felt awful and couldn't focus on work. Not the asshole. If it makes him uncomfortable, he could always not look. The entitlement of some people, I swear. I think people were quiet because they were uncomfortable with the interaction and too polite to confront him. Anyone else uncomfortable with your eye had the good sense to let you live your life and just look elsewhere. Not the asshole. It's disgusting that he would even think that harassing someone about their injury, disability at all, especially in public, is a good thing to teach his kid. My opinion, he should have been kicked off the bus. I'm sorry that no one stood up for you because I would have. Not the asshole. At all. I'm sorry that happened. People can be total jerks. It's not that hard to look away if it actually bothers them. Not the asshole. You don't need to apologize for existing while injured. That dad was being a complete jerk when you were minding your own business. Sorry you're injured and I hope your eye heals well. Not the asshole. Maybe people stared at you when you lashed out, because they actually were staring at the man harassing you. I hope people felt uncomfortable because he was being a jerk to you for your looks. They should have stand up for you, but people don't do that easily anymore these days. Anyway, you were discriminated against and you had every right to shut that man up. He is being a horrible parent to his son, teaching him how to bully people. Not the asshole. If this man doesn't like that his kid will see various things, including different body types, in the bus, then he should drive him around. Don't ever feel bad for your eye. Not the asshole. The doctor told you to keep it uncovered, and it would be up to you to keep it covered or mow either way. That guy should just look away if it's bothering him so much. Not the asshole. You were following doctor's orders, and you shouldn't feel obligated to cover your own face for any reason. If other people don't want to see your eye, they can simply not look at it. Not the asshole. Can't believe that man is living a life where an eye injury is the weirdest thing he's seen on public transport. Not the asshole. The guy requesting that you cover your eye would more than likely be the as his huffing, puffing, commenting and questioning you about your eye would have initiated my discomfort. Did you notice anyone acting uncomfortable before you told the nasty bastard off? Not the asshole. That day was the asshole. Not you. He needs to STF you and leave people alone. Not the asshole. I hate when people, especially on public transportation of all places, expect perfection out of their environment, while making everyone else responsible for maintaining that expectation. This is kind of what I say when people do this to me. Did you expect some kind of perfect scene out of a movie moment when you boarded this public bus today? Do you think we're all hired extras and this is your Truman Show? Not the asshole. People shouldn't expect others to change for their comfort. It's setting a bad example for his kid too. Don't ever feel bad about your eye. It's so endearing that you're turning a negative into a positive by giving children some joy too. Not the asshole. So rude of him. Hope you're healing up. Not the asshole. You have as much right to dress your own self as anyone else. There's literally not a single thing wrong with you not covering your eye. This dude was so grossly in the wrong on literally every level. The world doesn't have to conform to his standards. His feeling uncomfortable was absolutely his own problem. His ableist ass should have kept his mouth shut. No, you are not the asshole. Not the asshole. First of all, sorry that embodiment of entitled parent ruined your day, op. Second, his kid had zero business staring at someone's face, regardless of how they look. That's creepy, at least to me. Third and probably most important, you have no obligation to anyone to wear a patch nor to cover your eye up. Don't feel ashamed for who you are. Loads of love. Not the asshole at all. I'm sorry people are so cruel. That guy was definitely an asshole and I don't blame you for lashing out at him. But you not as much. He obviously shouldn't have been a dick to you, but you easily could have said, I don't have something with me right now to cover it, or, I'm supposed to leave it uncovered for now. The first time he asked, made him to be the sole asshole. That said, he easily could have not been a dick. Shit happens in the moment, don't dwell on it too hard. Oh God, you're so not the asshole. Sorry to hear it affected your whole day. You sound like a nice person. NTA. That guy is a major awe. He should be teaching his kid not to be uncomfortable with any injuries or disabilities. Not the asshole. I was born with a benign tumor that took the place of my left eye. The tumor was removed when I was young, and I have usually had a prosthetic since then. However, I lost it in a swimming accident, and because it doesn't bother me, cause me issues, impede my life, I didn't replace it. It's also super expensive and other things were the priority. Sometimes people stare and ask crappy questions. And if they're a child, I'm open and honest, and it's a cool learning time. And if it is an adult, I'm a snarky asshole who takes pleasure in making them feeling as uncomfortable with their entitlement as they want me to feel for existing. Good on you for shutting him up. Not the asshole. We have a right to exist in our bodies without modifying ourselves to better fit the normal standard. Other people's discomfort with our existence is their problem, not ours. I hope your eye heals up soon. Not the asshole. What a jerk. Sorry people are so horrid to you. You, not the asshole. The idiot father, all day long. What a jerk. Not the asshole. He was uncomfortable because he's an asshole. The everyone agrees with me is the fallback of many an ass who knows the opposite is true, but want the victim of their tirade to believe otherwise. His son wasn't uncomfortable. No one else was. If people stared, it was because a jerk started shouting and they were too uncomfortable to say anything. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Not the asshole. He's rude and obnoxious. You were a lot more polite than I'd have been. You were not the asshole. In fact, you were nice. I'd have said something snippy like if it bothers him to see it that much, you can poke out his eyes. Cheeky smiley face. Not the asshole. He should have taken his kid off the bus instead. Not the asshole. Dad was 100% wrong. Not the asshole. People should mind their own business. Even if it was making the kid uncomfortable. No one has to look at your eye. He was acting like he didn't have the option to look away. Plus, doctor's orders to not keep it covered. He was definitely the asshole. NTA. So this guy is uncomfortable with your existence and uses his son as the excuse? That's top-notch asshole behavior from him. I'm so petty I'd have honestly stared him full on in the face the entire time just to make him even squirm and leave. You can't help what happened to you, but nor should you have to hurt, limit or restrict yourself for the relative comfort of others. They can pretend that imperfections don't exist all they want. Doesn't make it true. As such, it's their problem if they don't like it, and dude face should have kept his trap shut unless it was to be kind and compliment you on being such a badass brave person. Info. Where on earth are you that people start confrontations on public transportation? Here in New York you'd get your ass beat for that. Not the asshole. Have some fun with it next time and go full mad eye moody on assholes like him. Smile and tell him your eye sees well enough to recognize a black soul or whatever you care to make up. Ridiculousness deserves a ridiculous response. Not the asshole 100%. People who look different than us are extremely important and necessary to experience without their requirement to adapt to our expectations. You're not obligated to cover your eye, someone in chemo isn't obligated to wear a wig, someone blind shouldn't need to wear sunglasses, etc. It's a part of you. Not the asshole, doctor's orders. Doesn't really merit discussion. Not the asshole. Excuse me, but I don't like staring at your face. Change your face. Scrolling through the comments to find a person with no understanding of social interaction that said he's the asshole. Not the asshole, he was extremely rude. If he was feeling so uncomfortable he could close his eyes, too. He also has them, hasn't he? Face with rolling eyes. People likely did not understand what was happening, they saw a young man shouting at an elder. How do we know this? You see, especially demeaning disabled people at public is a huge stigma. Usually when such an event occurs, someone will intervene on behalf of you. Since he began his insults by puffing and speaking in a low voice, I suppose people did not take notice, and by the time it escalated to shouting it was too late. In any case, you were 100% right. Not the asshole. This is ableist and wrong. Your face is your face. His face was disturbing by virtue of being in yours, but you didn't tell him to cover it up. You told him to mind his own, which he should have done. Not the asshole, and I can't believe nobody stood up for you. That dude was being ridiculous. Not the asshole. That man was a jerk, pay him no mind. Not the asshole. Fuck that guy. It is my job as a parent to teach my son that other people are different sometimes, not tell people with disabilities to not exist for our comfort. He could have just parented, not looked, minded his own business. There were so many options that didn't include harassing you. Not the asshole, and it honestly makes me sad that anyone feels the need to ask this. I'm sure the other people were uncomfortable about the entire thing, and of course, they're going to look when someone is yelling and swearing. It doesn't mean you were wrong. What really happened is that the child had questions and the father was uncomfortable. Hold your head up. There's nothing wrong with you and you deserve to be there, eye patch or not. OMG, you sound like an adorable and funny person. Especially with kids loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying. It's such a shame that people like that father can bring the worst in people and then make you look like the aggressive one for standing up for yourself. I'm so sorry for what happened, and you're not the asshole, by the way. He then asked me if I had something to cover my eye with because he thought it was making his son uncomfortable. Yeah, that's not a thing. People don't cover their face because their disability makes someone uncomfortable. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I mean, what about the amputee or the mentally handicapped? It was actually an opportunity for that child's father to explain to his child that some people do indeed have challenges and that a physical or mental difference does not make a person less than. Actually, I'm surprised this happened in this day and age. That guy was most assuredly the asshole. Not the asshole. The father was being an utter asshole. Not the asshole. It's nobody's business how you look and they don't know your life. Who are they to be so demanding of you over something you can't control at all? Not the asshole, and it bothers me that no one on the bus told the guy off.